You ever tell yourself, I'm exhausted, when in reality you barely scratch the surface? You lace up, hit your warm up, the sweat trickles early, and somewhere in that space between mild discomfort and the actual beginning of work, you decide you're done. But here's the truth. You're not tired, you're underdeveloped. Now, it's not a character flaw, it's not laziness, despite what you might read, it's not even a lack of motivation. It's a lack of reps, a lack of exposure, a lack of capacity built brick by brick in the furnace of repetition. You've mistaken discomfort for fatigue because no one ever taught you how to develop. So let's change that. Because once you understand your brain, your body, and your perception of effort really work, once you see that I'm tired is just your nervous system pulling the emergency brake way too early, you'll realize you're capable of far more than you've ever led to believe. Now, this isn't motivational fluff. This is war-tested, science-backed, blood, sweat, and repeat coaching for athletes who want to go beyond limits and actually build something unbreakable. Quick story of how I kind of figured this out for myself. A few years ago, I was training for an ultra. Nothing new there. Miles stacked up like a dirty laundry, but one morning, 10 miles into what should have been a 30-mile training run, my legs felt like lead. My heart rate was jacked, my brain was screaming for me to shut it down, and I told myself, I'm tired. But then I thought back to the week prior. I pulled an all-nighter for work, barely eaten, and got a 40-mile run in heat that would have melted asphalt. And I survived that just fine. So what the hell was this? I wasn't tired. I was just hitting a new stimulus I hadn't adapted to yet. I never tried back-to-back long runs on low sleep and low food while stressed out. My body wasn't quitting. It was shocked. Underdeveloped for the task at hand. And that's when it clicked. You're not tired. You're just not built for what I was trying to do. And what I was trying to ask myself to do, yet. Let's zoom out and break this all down so we all understand where we're coming from. What you feel as fatigue is often a miscommunication between your body and your brain. Scientists will call this central fatigue, your brain down-regulating performance before your body actually hits a limit. Think of it like your brain's trying to stop you from embarrassing yourself at the party because you start dancing too hard. It's trying to protect you. It's overprotective though. Pain, discomfort, boredom, self-doubt, these are all signals. They're not stop signals. They're developmental markers. See, endurance isn't just an aerobic capacity. Strength isn't just how much weight you can lift. Mental toughness isn't just about gritting your teeth. All of it is built on the same foundation, repeated exposure to controlled discomfort. I will repeat that because a lot of people miss it. They understand progressive overload for strength and endurance and speed, but when it comes to mental resilience and toughness, it's the same thing. Repeat exposure to controlled discomfort. Progressive overload of discomfort for your brain. The problem is most people only train when they feel good. But you don't develop capacity by waiting for the stars to align. You build it by showing up on days you feel like trash and putting up to an honest rep. So let's talk about adaptation, because this is the part people love to skip. Your body is a survival machine. Every time you stress it, physically, emotionally, neurologically, it takes notes. But it doesn't adapt just because you did something once. It adapts when that thing becomes normal, repeated, expected. So if you want to build endurance, that's not a Sunday long run. That's weekly long runs plus daily aerobic work, plus fueling, plus sleeping, plus hydrating like your next breath depends on it. You want to get strong, that's not a 1 rep max once a month. That's 5 years of grinding through plateaus, eating enough to support your lifts, managing your recovery, and accepting that progress won't always be linear. So if you want to be mentally tough, that's not yelling, let's go, before a WOD. That's consistently showing up and choosing the harder path when no one's watching, sticking to boring basics and facing down your inner quitter until it shuts the hell up. This is the difference between being tired and being inadequately adapted. And adaptation isn't about talent or genetics, it's about exposure, repetition, and recovery. Every athlete who's built something truly resilient has been through hell. They just learned how to make the hell productive. Now here's the practical side, the tactical side, the part where people really want to listen to. You're underdeveloped probably in 3 different domains, or one of 3. Physiological, psychological, and strategic. Let's break down each one of these. Most people will never train their full energy systems. They live in the comfortable hard zone, somewhere between easy and actually productive. That gray zone builds tiredness, not toughness. You need polarized training. Easy days need to be easy. Zone 2, conversational, low heart rates. Even if you're doing a Metcon or CrossFit class, you can go easy with low heart rates in Zone 2. It will build your aerobic capacity and mitochondrial density, the foundation for long-term output. But the flip side of that, hard days need to be hard. True VO2 max intervals, true max effort sprints, heavy lifts, heavy max reps, the kind of work that stings your lungs and slaps your ego. If you're always tired but never improving, you're probably just living in the middle, and nothing grows in the middle. And let's not forget the basics: sleep, nutrition, hydration. You cannot out-train garbage input. Your body is a biological engine. Treat it like a science project, not a junkyard. Perception of effort is more trainable than strength. That's not just anecdotal. Research shows that your brain literally gets better at tolerating effort the more frequently you expose it to. This is why RPE, or the rate of perceived exertion, drops over time with consistent training. Even if your pace or power doesn't change, your brain stops freaking out when things get hard. You're not weak, you're just neurologically untrained. So to train it, use deliberate discomfort exposure. You're talking running in the cold, long, slow workouts, fasted cardio, controlled chaos. Also use reps of restraint. The discipline to do boring stuff daily: mobility, recovery, food prep, logging training data. And then, of course, mental reps under fatigue. Learn to think clearly when your heart is hammering. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Train your mind like you train your quads every damn day. And then the third and final one, the one that people skip over the most: strategic development, structure, consistency. If you want to grow, you need a damn plan. You need a program. You need a system. Too many athletes chase PRs without a system. They wing it, get hurt, burn out, stall. How many people on this, listening to this right now, have done that? Drop a comment down below. How many times have you gotten burnt out in your training over the last 10 years? And then they go blame fatigue. No, what you're feeling is the cost of disorganization. Build a simple, progressive plan. Make sure you're blocking periodization. Focus on one primary quality. Are you working on strength, speed, or endurance right now at a time? Then you have deload weeks. You grow in those recoveries, not doing the work. And of course, progress tracking. If you don't measure it, you can't optimize it. And most importantly, don't break the chain. One missed workout isn't the end, but if you keep breaking momentum, you'll never build inertia. Consistency compounds, momentum makes monsters. And if you want to win the long game, you have to play every damn day. Now, I know what you're thinking at this point, and you're probably questioning me. What if I'm actually tired? What if I'm actually overtraining? Fair. But here's the deal. True overtraining is rare. What most people call overtraining is under recovery combined with poor planning. Overtraining syndrome takes months to build, but undersleeping, undereating, and stress junkie behavior, that'll fry you up in a week. You want to avoid burnout? Don't just train hard, recover hard. Sleep like it's a job, eat like you're fueling a fire, meditate, unplug, take a few rest days. Fatigue is cumulative, so is resilience. And if you manage your inputs, monitor your workload, and stay consistent. So you won't just survive the hard days then, you'll become the kind of athlete who hunts them. So where does this leave us? It's time to stop confusing effort with exhaustion. Time to stop interpreting discomfort as failure. Time to stop labeling every hard day as a breakdown. You're not tired, you're underdeveloped. And that's good news, because underdeveloped means potential. It means you've still got room to build. It means the ceiling isn't fixed, it's waiting for you to raise it. But you won't do that by chasing hype. You'll do it by chasing consistency, by showing up when it sucks, by doing the ugly, boring reps, by outlasting your excuses and outworking your own limitations. This is your blueprint for long-term progression, brick by brick, breath by breath, set by powerful set. So the next time you feel tired, ask yourself, am I really spent, or am I just new to this level of workout? And then get back to work. Because greatness isn't built when you feel ready, it's built when you train anyway. So let's get after it.